What's going on, everybody? I got to have breakfast with somebody today, a friend of mine, not really through Facebook, although we are friends on Facebook, but he reached out to me. I had lunch with another friend of mine last week. As you can tell by the facial hair, I'm taking advantage of some paid time off. That's a long story, but bottom line is I'm getting to see people. And there's a recurring theme with things that come up in conversation. Of course, they know I write books. But it just so happens that we both friends, totally unrelated to each other, the same thing came up in conversation. And people know that I keep up with current events and things, and they know I'm kind of a political nut. But we just happened to come up with the same conclusion that, you know what? We're getting to a day and age now to where it's even more important than ever to pay attention to what is going on around us. How many of us go through life day to day and we just, you get so caught up with the busyness of life, the getting things done, the paying attention to your job and doing things for the family and running errands all the time and checking up on your social media stuff, right? And this is stuff I can relate to, right? But there's also world events going on. And, just like on a smaller scale, when you can compare this to a self-defense scenario, right? Where when you're not paying attention and you're going to your car, classic example, some poor person is maybe unloading some groceries or something from a cart to their car, to their vehicle. And because they're focused or occupied on that, they're not aware of that bad guy, that attacker, that person who wants to steal something, that thief coming up and taking advantage of them. And next thing you know, they're attacked, they're laying on the ground because this guy snuck up behind them, knocked them down, and stole something and ran off. I have a funnier example. Actually, I think I need to share this. I saw it on Facebook earlier of this little video. This random guy's walking up the street, and the little subtitle on the video is "Be prepared for anything," right? He's walking up the street. I kid you not. Out of nowhere, he's like coming up near a car, and out of nowhere, this wild pig. Now, this is in like a street, like a city neighborhood. This wild pig runs and charges towards him out of nowhere. And the guy just barely gets out of the way in time. But I mean, it is like, when you see the video, it's hilarious. It's so random. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. A small scale version, something all of a sudden surprises you. And if you're not paying attention, it knocks you over or you get hurt. Somebody takes advantage of you, that kind of thing. All right. Back to where I started with these friends and other conversations. What about on a grand scale? There's folks such as my wife who want to live in their bubble because ignorance is bliss. The friend of mine, Zach, who I met with for breakfast, he said that ignorance is bliss for some people. Yeah, when you're ignoring the things going on in the world and the news and current events, you know what? If everything seems to be going okay in your personal life, you don't want to worry about that other stuff out there because it's just not comfortable to hear about it. It brings extra stress to you. You just don't want to even focus on it at all. What if, on a grand scale, too many people have kind of taken that approach over a long period of time, and more people, because of the way we are influenced and inundated by so many things with the media and the comings and goings of life, that we conveniently ignore bigger things going on. That seems to be what is happening. That seems to be what has happened in America, but not just America, all over the world. All over the world. Look at how, literally a billion people or so have been taken advantage of by a socialist system, really a communist system in China. How in the world did they get so many people to nod their heads along and go along with that? And the people just go on about their business, right? But wait, what else is going on? How many people are aborted every day? How many female children have been aborted in China? How many people have died because of that communist regime? How many people have lost rights because of that communist regime? How many people are losing freedoms everywhere in socialist or communist countries? I'm going further with this. How many people in the United States would lose their freedoms, their rights that they've always had, because those rights were taken away before they knew it? Do you see where I'm going now? Do you see what's wrong with not paying attention? Yes, I agree. You could become paranoid. You're full-blown conspiracy theorists, and I put quotes around that because there's a lot of stuff that just isn't conspiracy anymore. If you pay attention, you'll know that, right? But that's the thing. If we're not paying attention, before we know it, we're going to be a socialist or even a communist nation, or worse, under the thumb of somebody like the UN. And all of our individual freedoms that we love and cherish now, and our ability to not pay attention, all of a sudden that's going to be gone. It's just food for thought today, right? My 2 cents, as I usually call it. Just thought I'd throw that out there for people today. Think about it. Are you paying attention to what's going on in the world today? Not just our country, in the world. Pay attention to the news and events, because before you know it, all the things that you love and cherish and take for granted could be gone. Just like that lady's groceries from that thief that got the drop on her because she didn't see what was going on around her. My 2 cents. Y'all have a good day. God bless America while we still have it.